What up, good people? It's me, Shelby. Here to talk about my cassette collection, cassette tape collection. And so this is going to be focused around 90s hip hop for the most part, with some late 80s editions. These are cassette tapes that I bought at the time. So just hope you guys enjoy the video. So what's up, everybody? I'm here to talk about my cassette tape collection. Like I said, I was buying these tapes at the time in the 90s and late 80s. So I'm just gonna showcase some of the things that I got. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, or just like the video. And if you don't, it's all good and it's all love. Um, but this is a relatively new channel. I've been collecting records for a long time. Most of my channel will be focused around vinyl records, but I do collect CDs and cassettes. And this time around, I'm just going to focus on my cassette tapes. So, with that said, I'm going to just get started real quick. This is Poor Righteous Teachers. I bought this in the late 80s, I think 1990, either 89 or 90. But this is Poor Righteous Teachers out of Profile Records. They're out of New Jersey. Poor Righteous Teachers. This is a really great album, dope album. I really, when they first came out, I was really into them. They're 5%ers, and they like to build and all that stuff, build me, and just acquiring the knowledge and just kicking science, as they like to call it, and just learning everything about reality. So that's what they were about, and yeah, dope. We got Gangstars Daily Operation. I bought this in 1992. Cassette tape is still intact. I'm going to bust out the cover for a second. So we got the cassette tape. This is side 1, EMI Records. So this is the original. So this is not a reissue. Got the case right here, the cover actually right here. So and they got the lyrics inside the tape case right here. This is the original, so it's not reissued. There's the crew, with Big Shug. You got J. Rue the Damager. You got Group Home. They were all down with Gangstar at that time. So this is a dope record, man. And yep. So this is the original. Gangstar, 1992, Daily Operation. Rest in peace, Guru. All right, we got Crew, the Dirty 30. And I can't recall the lead artist or rapper's name. I think his name is Yogi, but he was a producer in the 2000 era for Bad Boy Records. But this album came out in 1997. They had their single was called Just Another Case. And I know that Anthony Hamilton does some background vocals on one of these records. Anthony Hamilton is from North Carolina, but I believe he was living in Harlem at the time, Harlem, New York, and he was in the underground circuit. He backed up D'Angelo. He worked with Busta Rhymes, so he was out in the underground circuit singing and doing backups. But yeah, this is the Dirty 30 came out in 1997, Def Jam Records. The Crew, dope record, and it was. I bumped it a lot. Now this is really old. K Solo album. Tell the World My Name. I bought this album, I think, in 1989. I want to say. Spellbound is on here, and I remember DMX being out on the underground scene at the time. He thought he had Spellbound as well. He had a record called Spellbound, and I think there's just some big personally, I think there's a big misunderstanding with those two. But this is K Solo, and look how it's going to tell you how old I am. This is the original tape, and I had tape around here, this masking tape or something, that the tape came apart because I played it a lot. And so I can't believe I still have that, but it's the original. It's not going to be worth much, but because of that, it is what it is. K Solo. I got Beats Rhyme Life by A Tribe Called Quest. I bought this tape in 1996. I do own the vinyl record and CD, all original. So and tape is still intact there. And you got the cover for it right here, Tribe Called Quest. So this was the cover to the tape cassette. And they also have merchandise. If you want to purchase some merchandise, that was the tag here or whatever. And you just fill that form out right there, and you would get your shirt, your hat, whatever. 1996. This also was the album that introduced Jay Dilla to the world. Well, I mean, Jay Dilla did some stuff with Fireside, but A Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip in particular, introduced Jay Dilla to everybody. So, you know, Jay Dilla was at this time sort of an unofficial member of the Uma Squad. I mean, he was a part of it, but just at this time though, he was producing some beats on here, and Q-Tip pretty much introduced him to everybody. So, yep, we got DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper. I bought this in like '88. Yeah, I did. My mom gave me money, and she would do that from time to time, and I would go buy albums and cassette tapes and CDs with that money that she would give me, and I bought this on cassette tape. Dope, 1988, and I wore this tape out. If you look through it, no words on that tape because it's been worn out by me, but this is the original right here, cassette tape. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather. Again, dope record. All original, Profile Records. To me, this album is dope as hell, man. They have a lot of beats on this album, and they elevated their pen game as well. Like, if you listen to songs like Radio Station, I'm Not Going Out Like That, their pen game was ridiculous. It was, you know, you could tell, you know, just listen to how their wordplay was. But this is a great record, man. I like Tougher Than Leather. We got A Tribe Called Quest, the Low End Theory on tape cassette. I do own the vinyl, and I own the CD, all original. So this is the original cassette I bought in 1991. I think it was 1991 I bought it. Yeah, 1991. So again, there's the cover to it, and this is how the inside looked here. So this is all original, folks. So yeah, I pretty much kept it intact. And they got the Stop the Violence emblem there, the KRS-One put out for everybody. You know, like that was his movement, and people were down with it. The artists were down with it, so you would see that Stop the Violence movement logo inside of artist covers, especially in the hip hop circuit. And Tribe had that there. So dope record, being classic record. So yeah, I own the CD, I own the vinyl record, and the cassette. Classic record right there. Old Dirty Bastard. Return to the 36 Chambers, the dirty version. I bought this in 1995. Dope record here. Again, just classic stuff, man. Just cover. I went to my mother's house and got all this stuff, man. All this stuff is in my mom's basement, so I just went and retrieved it. I'm just going to set up shop here because I bought a new home here last year, so I'm just going to figure out ways how to, you know, set it up. Anyway, this is the cover, Old Dirty Bastard. I bought this in 1995. I think this is when this came out, 1990. Yeah, 1995. I'm thinking 1995. There's a cassette tape there. Everything still looks good. So cassette tape. This is that side B there that you're looking at. And yep, Old Dirty Bastard. We got EPMD. Now this is a classic. I bought this when, man, my mom gave me money, and I bought this album. This is the original cassette tape. And cassette tape from way back in the late 80s. It's been worn out by me. I'm gonna pull out the cover because I haven't seen it in a while. Look at that. You got fresh records, not priority order, some of the reissues, fresh records, so you know what it is. Rush Management, everybody had Russell Simmons as their manager at that time, and just fresh records, man. Look at that. Old stuff right there. So that's the original EPMD cassette tape from 1988. '87, something like that when I bought it. My mom gave me the money and I bought it. Ultramagnetic MCs on Next Plateau Records. This was a classic album in terms of production. They kind of revolutionized the way people made beats. I think they were one of the first groups to use the SP1200, and others started using it after them. So Critical Beatdown, 1988, 87, something like that. They were on the same record label with Salt and Pepper, Next Plateau Records. Classic, Cool Keith, you know, big ups to him. Said G, you know, DOS Effects, Hold It Down album. This came out in 1995. I bumped this album a lot. I just thought at the time it was just raw. The skills, the beats, everything was elevated. This was a dope record. I love that record. Okay, next we have Pete Rock and CL Smooth. The main ingredient, I do own his vinyl and CD. That's one of the cassette, obviously. So, dope record right here. Pete Rock, CL Smooth. Again, their relationship, for whatever reason, I don't know what they were going through, but I wish they would make music together. I think Pete Rock still has it. You know, he has not lost a beat as far as being a dope producer. So, this is the original cassette tape. I bought this in 1990. I want to say I bought it in 94, but I don't know if it came out in 94 or not. Yep, it did. 1994, I'm reading it. So when I bought it. So we got that. We got Third Base, Derelicts of Dialect. This came out in 1991 when I bought it. Dope record. And them two kind of went through what Pete Rock and CL went through. They broke up during the peak of their careers, and I don't understand that. I think if I recall, MC Serge or Pete Nice, one of them said that they were around each other a lot on tour and just constantly around each other, and they got tired of each other, and so they decided to do their own things. MC Serge tried to do his own solo project. Pete Nice tried to do his own solo project, and none of it worked out, and they disbanded. But they broke up at the peak of their careers, man. Had that not happened, they might have had a lengthy career because they were selling a lot of records, and they were a good group. So, Third Base. We got Ghostface Killer, Iron Man. I bought this in 1996. Yep, 1996, I believe. This is a dope classic right here. Ghostface is the most consistent artist in Wu-Tang to me, in my opinion. Dope record. Yep, all originals, so nothing reissued, none of that stuff there. Got the Wu-Tang emblem on the cassette right there. Yeah, man, it's a dope record, cassette tape. So again, like A Tribe Called Quest, you see the merchandise with the tag here. They started doing this around like the mid 90s to late 90s. So you see the merchandise there, then you would fill this form out here that was attached to the cassette, and you would purchase your Wu stuff, your Wu gear, whatever. And they did have a store, the Wu-Tang store. They had that out in New York at the time, and you could just purchase it. You know, they have Wu wear, Wu sweaters, Wu jeans, and you wear them with your Timberlands, and you were good with a Yankee hat, straight. DOS Effects, Dead Serious. I bought this in 1992, and they were the hottest thing coming out. You know, they had a song called what was that song called? They Want Effects, and that's what it was called. This came out in 1992. I bought this along with Pete Rock and CL Smooth that year, their debut album. 1992 was a really good year for hip hop. So yeah, DOS Effects. We got Big Daddy Kane. His second release is a Big Daddy thing, and I really enjoyed this album a lot. Smooth Operators on here, a couple other joints I worked. The original stuff here. So Cold Chillin' Records. You got look at that. So you got Big Daddy Kane, Mr. C, The Dancers, Scoop and Scrap. The producers were Big Daddy Kane, Prince Paul, Marley Marl, Easy Mo B, Mr. C, and Teddy Riley. So yeah, and you can see the logo, Rush Management again. Russell Simmons was managing these artists, and pretty dope, man. You know, so all original. I bought this in 1990. I want to say 1990. I could be wrong. Um, Original flavor. I bought this in 1993. Ski Beats is in this group. And they had a song called Can I Get Open? This came out in 1993, and Jay-Z was on that record. Jay-Z didn't have a deal at that time. He was still on the underground circuit, so he was just hopping on people's records from time to time. I know he hopped on Jazz record. He hopped on this record. He was hanging around Big Daddy Kane a lot. Jay-Z didn't really get his foot into the game until around 1995, 1996. But otherwise he was just in the underground circuit and hopping on these records. And Ski Beats actually did his first album. So he produced Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt, and Ski Beats was a part of this group, Original Flavor. Yeah, and Jay-Z was on one of these records. Big Daddy Kane's debut album, Long Live the Kane, the original cassette. I'm surprised I kept these things intact like this. That's probably because I was buying a CD with these. So I got the CD to this, and so I just put the tape cassette, left the tape cassette alone and just listened to the CD. But it's the original. Cold Chillin' Records right here in the front, right there. The Juice Crew All Stars. So yeah, just dope rap. This is a classic album by him, of course. We got the group Home, DJ Premier, Gangstar Foundation. So yeah, group Home, Little Dap, Malachi. To me, this is some of DJ Premier's best work as far as production. He really banged this out right here. They out of Brooklyn, New York. Group Home. I bought this in 1995. Lil Dap, Malachi, dope album. We got Three Times Dope, original styling album, on cassette. Down with the Hilltop Hustlers, Steady B, Cool C, those guys, and then they left them alone, and Cool C and Steady B did what they did, which was stupid. But Three Times Dope. That was a dope album from them, out of Philadelphia. We got Raekwon, The Purple Tape. Only built for Cuban links. I do have the CD and the vinyl record to this. I bought this in 1995. This is the original cassette tape, so you can see the crew there, Ghostface, other members there, and you got look at that. So you got all that. Loud Records was in the building. Loud Records, Wu-Tang, Raekwon, and had Nas on his album. Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep was on there. Never mind, skip that. But Nas was on his album. I think he was the only one that was on this outside of Ghostface. Yeah, the Purple Tape. So it's all purple. It's the original Purple Tape right there. Okay. We got the Almighty RSO. Now, this is not an album. This is just a cassette single. They were down with the Flavor Unit. They're out of Boston, and Benzino is in this group. So he was out back then. They had got to deal with Tommy Boy Records, and Benzino went by Ray Dog at that time. So you open up the cover. This is him, and I kind of liked him back then when he was in this group. He wasn't a bad artist. Of course, he ended up owning the Source and changed his name to Benzino, and it was downhill for me ever since. I never did kind of got with him. I didn't really care for him like that. But Boston and Massachusetts, they were dope. They were down with Queen Latifah and the Flavor Unit. So, and I did like them. I thought they were going to drop an album, but they never did. We got The Genius, his first album, very, very first album. This is right before Wu-Tang got put on. So this album came out in 1991 or 1990. I can't remember. He was on Cold Chillin' Records. And RZA had a deal at the same time. He was called Prince Raheem at the time. But Wu-Tang came in 1993. They got their stuff going in 1993. But GZA was out in 1991 with this album, and he didn't like a lot of the songs on this album. But to me personally, this was a dope album. I don't care what nobody tell me. I love Genius came through with this one right here. Yeah. Gangstar, No More Mr. Nice Guy, DJ Premier, Guru, um, original. This album came out in 1989, I want to say 89, 88, something like that. Um, so yeah, it was dope, man. DJ Premier and Guru, Gangstar, No More Mr. Nice Guy. We got Chubb Rock, The One, Select Records. Bought this in 1991. It's a classic, dope record from him, Chubb Rock. And we got Sadat X, Wild Cowboys, Loud Records. You know, again coming through. Just a dope record, straight New York. I was just bumping this album. I think this came out in 1996, either 95 or 96. I can't remember the year, but the cassette tape is still intact. Just dope, man. It's a lot. Positive K, Skills That Pay the Bills. I bought this album along with the Chronic. So when the Chronic came out, I bought this album with it. So it's a dope album by Positive K. And then we got the Grave Diggers, the Pick, the Sickle, and the Shovel. You know, you got Fruquan here and RZA, DJ Paul, and I can't remember the other rapper that died. I can't remember his name. It's off the tip of my tongue, but this album came out in 1997. It's a dope record, man. I bumped this again. Just listening to all this stuff back in those days, man, in the late 90s. And so yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that because it's been 20 minutes, a little bit over 20 minutes. So that's my cassette collection. I do got more that I'm gonna showcase later, but that's just scratching the surface. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Just hit the subscribe button if you like what you saw. If you like this video, like it. I wish you well. Peace and blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.